Hello, hello! Pete's Pax here, and we're back with Brawl deck number 3 from Throne of Eldraine. This is the Esper color pair, so white, blue, black, Faerie Schemes. So this one has another very popular face commander. In fact, I think all three of the commanders from the Brawl decks are fairly popular in regular commander. So it's this is Alela, Artful Provocateur. The insert that comes with it, or that comes with the Brawl decks, gives you a quick overview of the rules for Brawl, some tips for building. Then the other side has a little blurb on each of the decks. So there are 4 in all from Throne of Eldraine. I'm not sure, but I believe that these are the only Brawl decks that Wizards ever released. We'll have to do some more checking to figure out whether or not that's true, but I feel that they only did these 4. And then started releasing commander decks for every set shortly after this. This is Faerie Schemes with Alela, Artful Provocateur. Alright, so Alela is 1 white, blue, black for a 2/3 legendary fairy warlock with flying, death touch, and lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0, and whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. So there's some really fun things that you can do in Commander with that color pairing. Thopter Foundry combo is one of the ones that comes to mind. So, alright, we've got our spacer. Toss that. Also comes with a nice little deck divider and a double-sided spin down life counter. It goes up to, I think, 40. Yep, it goes up to 40. So let's see what's in here. All right. So we've got what I think is our first repeat, other than basic lands, and the core, like, and towers, stuff like that. We have Mace of the Valorant, which is also in the Knights deck, I believe. But it's 2 and a white for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each charge counter on Mace of the Valorant and has Vigilance. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge counter on Mace of the Valorant. Equip 3. We have Shimmer Dragon. 4 blue for a 5/6 dragon with flying. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon is hexproof. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Draw a card. Workshop Elders, 6 and a blue for 4/4 human artificer. Artifact creatures you control have flying. Really nice synergy with Alela. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target non-creature artifact you control become a 0/0 artifact creature. If you do, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. We have Banish and Defable. This one actually saw a little bit of play in competitive Throne of Eldraine standard, but 4 blue and a white for an instant. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, copy it if you control an artifact, then copy it if you control an enchantment. You may choose new targets for the copies. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance. Did not realize this was in here. Smothering Tide. Yeah, that's a thing. 3 and a white enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If that player doesn't, you create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap. Sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. Then we have Sephara, Sky's Blade. Smothering Tide is considered a CEDH staple and often considered a white It's staple in regular EDH. But Sephara, Sky's Blade, 4 white, white, white for a 7/7 legendary angel. You may pay white and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Flying, lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. It's a fun one. Massacre Girl. This was primo removal for a while in Standard. You have 3 black black for 4/4 legendary human assassin with menace. Whenever Massacre Girl enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So if you have a chain of tokens or any series of power and toughness, or toughness, not power, but toughness that you can walk up, you can chain through and just clear the entire board other than Massacre Girl. Kaya's Wrath. White, white, black, black, sorcery. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you controlled that were destroyed this way. Bag of Holding. 1 mana artifact. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. 2 and tap, draw a card, then discard a card. 4, tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding. Return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. One moment. Sorry about that. Head onto the door. Then we have Temple of Silence, the black-white temple. Hey, Watery Grave. The blue-black Shockland. So, All That Glitters. Very nice. This was recently downshifted to common, I believe. But for 1 and a white, you have an enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. We have Animating Fairy. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flyer, or a 2/2 flying fairy. The adventure side of it is 2 and a blue, sorcery. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. We have Corridor Monitor. It was used in quite a few combo decks in Standard during Throne of Eldraine, but for 1 and a blue, you get a 1/4 artifact creature construct. When it enters the battlefield, untap target artifact or creature you control. You'd use this to untap Nyx Bloom Lotus, I believe it was. Or Nyx Lotus, something like that. Frogify. 1 and a blue, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. This is one of the few ways to completely shut down a commander. It's pretty nice. Witching Well. For a blue, you get an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. 3 and a blue, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. Shine Chaser. 1 white blue for a 1/1 fairy with flying and vigilance. It gets +1/+1 as long as you control an artifact. It gets +1/+1 as long as you control an enchantment. Arcanist Owl. This was also used in quite a few combo decks. The Corridor Monitor was also used alongside this in Mono Blue Devotion to build Devotion. But for 4 hybrid white-blue, you get a 3/3 artifact creature bird with flying. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Golden Egg. 2 mana artifact, and it is a food. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. 1, tap and sacrifice it, add 1 mana of any color. 2, tap, sacrifice, gain 3 life. Arcane Signet. 2 mana rock for your commander's color identity. Angelic Exaltation. 3 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Ancestral Blade. 1 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then attach Ancestral Blade to it. Equip creature gets +1/+1. Equip 1. Conclave Tribunal. 3 and a white for an enchantment with Convoke. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Conclave Tribunal leaves the battlefield. Prison Realm. 2 and a white for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Prison Realm leaves the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. Chemster's Insight. 3 and a blue for an instant. Draw 2 cards with Jumpstart. You may cast it from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs, then exile this card. So, Winged Words. 2 and a blue, sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying, and then draw 2 cards. Just strictly better divination. Bloodsoaked Altar. 4 black for an artifact. Tap, pay 2 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying, activate only as a sorcery. Lawmage's Binding. 1 white and a blue, enchantment aura, flash, enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Mortify. 1 white black, instant, destroy target creature or enchantment. Empyrean Eagle, 1 white blue for 2/3 bird spirit with flying. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Heraldic Banner. 3 mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control of the chosen color get +1/+0. Tap, add 1 mana of the chosen color. Shambling Suit. 3 mana artifact creature construct with X power and 3 toughness. When its power is equal to the number of artifacts and or enchantments you control. Scrabbling Claws. This is actually a reprint from much earlier. This was primo graveyard hate at one point. It's a 1 mana artifact that you can tap. Target player exiles a card from their graveyard, and then 1, sacrifice it, exile target card from a graveyard, draw a card. That's right, not the whole graveyard, just target card. It's a strictly worse version of several cards, actually. It's in almost all my sideboards in the Relic of Progenitus. It's a strictly worse version of Relic of Progenitus. Guild Globe, 2 mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. 2, tap and sacrifice it. Add 2 mana of different colors. Mana Geode, 3 mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. And then you can tap for 1 mana of any color. And we have our basics. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 islands. 1, 2, 3, 4 swamps. We have an Azorius Guild Gate, blue-white gate. Command Tower, taps for your commander's color identity. Mirror Guild Gate, the blue-black gate. Dismal Backwater, the blue-black gain land. So it comes into play tapped, you gain a life. Emergence Zone, taps for a colorless, and then 1 tap and sacrifice it. You may cast spells as though they had flash. You may cast spells this turn as though they had flash. So until end of turn, it just gives all your stuff flash effectively. Evolving Wilds, tap, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land, put into play tapped. Then shuffle, of course. Orzhov Guild Gate, it's the white-black gate. Scoured Barrens, the white-black gain land, and then Tranquil Cove, the white-blue gain land. Then an add card. All right. Overall, this is really cool Brawl deck. And it's honestly a decent start to a commander deck for this. I can't believe that I didn't know that you get both a Watery Grave in here, a Massacre Girl, Sephara, and Smothering Tide. That's just bonker. This is a lot of this is a lot of value, especially now. Smothering Tide. I mean, Smothering Tide shortly after this set came, or not the set, but the set that it came out in, Fields of Ravnica, I think. Ravnica Allegiance. Shortly after that came out, it became a commander staple, and the price just shot up I think at one point it was up around $70. So this was an insane, value at the time and even now. I'm sure after the aftermarket price on these is absolutely nuts, but it's got some fantastic stuff in it. Yeah, that was Faerie Schemes, which is the Alela Artful Provocateur deck. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.